Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cloud Playhouse's cold reading for the month of December. This is our last cold read for 2020. We will be reading Not Smart by Wilbur Daniel Steele. The duration of the read is about 30 minutes. For those of you who are new to Cloud Playhouse, we are a 501c3 organization comprising of theater enthusiasts whose mission is to showcase the performing arts on a global virtual platform. We started in March and are now a strong, vibrant community of 1,500 plus patrons. Our cold readings differ from our usual programming in that they're informal, intimate, raw, and rather unrehearsed. We will be sharing the script on the screen for those of you who want to follow along with the readers. Our cold readings provide a great opportunity for those who have never worked with theater or with Cloud Playhouse before and would like to experience something different. If you do enjoy reading today, please tell your friends and family to subscribe to us at www.cloudplayhouse.com/contact. And now a little about the play Not Smart. The cast includes Namita Maunder as Fannie Tate, Pawankumar Suresh as her husband Milo Tate, Savitha Samu as Mrs. Painter, their neighbor, Monica Dani as Mattie, the housemaid, Havish Ravipati as, let's just say, a surprise entry. So, picture the living room of a typical beachside cottage in Cape Cod, Massachusetts during late summer. The man of the house, Milo Tate, is stretched on the couch, reading a magazine, laid back. Milo's wife, Fannie Tate, is writing at the desk. Housemaid Mattie is working in the kitchen, and their neighbor, Mrs. Painter, is gardening in her front lawn. So, without further ado, let's present to you the cold reading of Not Smart.
What's the use? What's the use?
Something in the magazine, dear?
The strange woman's face in the throng, pale, alluring, baffling, with lips like the poppy, and that sort of thing. The wind carving her figure as in warm and sentient marble, ankles and so on. Perfectly inflamed, our hero pursues her, careless of the hereafter, reckless of the eyes of the world. Of a sudden, a vision of his beloved one. At home, right in the middle of the street. Flaming sword sort of thing, and I didn't read any further. I don't need to. I know he'll turn around and go home, Fanny. Home.
Fancy.
They're all the same. And that's what's the matter with America. You know? Thank God. That is the gods, I mean. Nothing like that can ever happen to us. Isn't it fearful to think of one spirit cooped up between four narrow walls like that? Now I would have followed that anchor, wouldn't I? I would have followed it till it turned to ashes in my well, And then when I came back to you enriched, bringing the spoils of a profound experience, Fanny, you wouldn't mind.
Mind? Why should I mind, Milo? Can a thing of that sort temper with the essential qualities of our relationship? No, no. We have learned better than that. You and I.
And you'll always feel quite free too. You'll never let the silly little
Oh,
inhibition.
no, no.
Someday there may be a nice chap. I'd rather have a nice chap.
Like Mort, say?
Mort Painter? I'm afraid it would raise a bit of the devil in the painter house, Fanny. That's all. Mrs. Painter isn't exactly our kind. Aha! But he isn't home.
And why isn't he home? Why is he staying away so long? It's over 2 months now that he's been away.
Why? I don't know. He probably finds the fishing good down there in Maine or wherever he is. I hadn't thought.
I had. Milo, there's something in the woodpot. I tell you, Mrs. Painter is distinctly evasive. It's also unnatural. We all came down to this corner of the shore to have a nice, quiet summer. And then, of a sudden, he packs up and is gone overnight, and no sign of his coming back. There's something behind it, Milo.
Ah, there's a woman cropping out. Why should he just go off fishing and stay as long as he wants to?
I've been thinking of nothing for a week but more.
You have. I must say, Fanny, this rather sudden interest in one of my
You
oldest
don't mind?
mind? Oh, mind? Why, good heavens, Fanny. Why should I mind?
I knew you wouldn't. And after all, it's his wife I'm concerned about. Poor thing. Stranded here, all alone.
Phew, it's damn hot here, I say. I think I have a glass of milk. If you'd be so good, Fanny. That's a dear.
Mattie! Mattie!
Huh?
Bring Mr. Tate a glass of milk right away. And how many times have I told you to say ma'am when you speak to me?
Why should she say ma'am? After all, my dear,
There
you
are times, Milo, when your theories.
my theories, Francis, are identical with yours. The only point of variance being that I'm willing to practice them at home. We all talk so largely of the brotherhood of man, and yet here's a young girl, a really splendid sort of creature in a way, living close to the throbbing heart of Mother Earth.
Close to the throbbing heart of the kitchen range, you'd better say. For all your fine talk, you don't know any more about her than I do. And that's not a blessed thing. Not one single blessed thing, Milo. For all we know, she may be, oh, for heaven's sake, Milo, stop looking that way.
Close to the throbbing heart of Mother Earth, feeling the life pulse of the cosmos. Well, damn it all. She is precisely the kind of thing we write about and talk and make gestures about, the lot of us. You know, only she is it. She lives it. She's got something we've lost. Sometimes, my dear, I do feel, in a way,
Yes,
a strange spiritual bond with that creature, something drawing me irresistibly, like the pull of green things and the damp earth. Weird almost. Lysine. By the way, you don't mind?
mind?
In a way, she's got something or other that we.
Yeah. Your milk, sir.
Oh, your hands are so soft, Maggie.
Oh dear. Oh my.
I wonder if you've ever thought much about yourself, Maddie. You wouldn't, though. You wouldn't. That's just the matter with us. No, of course you wouldn't. Fanny, she wouldn't, would she? We've been wondering if you knew how wonderful you are, Maddie. Because you are wonderful. You are out of your age. In a world staggering under Freud, a Trotsky, a Marconi, the Republic of China, and the Imagist poets, you've managed somehow to slip back to the great, all-brooding fundamentals: food, shelter, procreation.
Milo!
That, Fanny, I believe is in the order in which they come. Or perhaps I'm wrong. Of course, my dear, if you want to get into philosophics and metaphysics, I grant you the old argument. Does the hen come first and the egg second? Or the egg first and the hen...
Milo, that is a young girl.
Francis, are we to be always like that? Always slipping back into the old fog-bound superstitions of the mid-Victorian home?
Oh, be quiet, please. It isn't that. You ought to know me well enough by this time. But she wouldn't understand if she could understand. If it would do her any good, enlarge her life in the least, Milo.
Understand? Of course she doesn't understand. Do we want her to understand, my dear girl? Enlarge her life? Look here, my dear. I'm serious. That girl has got something or other that neither you nor I or any of us in the group could come to in 1,000 years of self-centered and spiritual crucifixion. She's got...
Exactly what?
Why, Fanny? Why? Why? She's got... Say here, Francis, you know what I mean as well as I do. For heaven's sake, after 2 years of our talks, our trying to find the In a little group, you know? Look here, Fanny. You've talked as primitive as anyone. And now you stand here and ask, oh, here comes Mrs. Painter. Up the steps.
Oh, quick, take this. Sicker.
Fanny!
You idiot.
Francis? Are we to be always like that? That kind?
Okay, fine. Oh, I think it's Mrs. Painter coming in.
Come in.
Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Tate. I was just coming up from the beach, and I thought I'd drop in.
Well, terribly glad. When is Maud coming home?
He hasn't decided. Hasn't it been a glorious?
Perfectly glorious, really. Yes, yes. When's Mort coming home?
He hasn't. Mrs. Tate, your husband asked me that question 10 seconds ago, and if I'm not mistaken, you heard me answer him. Oh, I won't stand it. Oh, you're so mean, always pecking at me.
Pecking?
Pecking at you?
Yes, pecking at me. Oh. I suppose you might as well know. You'll have to, sometime. Mort is never coming back.
What?
Old Mort? Good old Mort? For heaven's sake, why not?
You remember the maid we engaged down here the first summer? Abby Small? Well, she got in trouble. Oh yes, Mort denied it and denied it and denied it. He would, of course. We got her out of the way immediately. Sent her up to the rescued Magdalene's home in the city. We couldn't do less. I know the place. It's good and clean and wholesome. Not at all like an institution. They have their amusements and things and and Mart, when he found at last that the wool would not be pulled over my eyes, packed up his things and went away. Perhaps it is best.
Best. You can say best? My God. You must forgive me, Mrs. Painter. You say it is best by your lights, and by my lights, I say it is worse. Worse because it seems to me you're missing the fundamental significance of life, that you're deliberately shutting the door on life, that you're throwing away an experience. You three, think of it. How wonderful a thing. Passing together, hand in hand, through the unfolding hours of a miracle. You three.
Are you crazy? Fanny, is the man insane?
No, Mrs. Painter. It seems to me he's precisely sane. We have been thinking about it a good deal, Milo and I.
Mrs.
And we...
I can't say how deeply I am. I think I'd better be going.
Oh, now, don't take on so, my dear. Oh, dear, you mustn't go off in a huff like this. Must she, Milo? See here. Sit down and we'll have a cup of tea. Mattie!
Yes, yes. Do please sit down. Mattie? Mattie? Where is that girl? Wait a second, I'll go hurry her off.
But my dear, you couldn't talk that way, either of you, if you had been through it yourselves. If you knew the torment of that day when the girl came to me and told me she wasn't smart.
Not smart?
Yes, that's the way they put it down here when they are expecting.
How quaint, not smart. Fancy. Oh, Milo, my dear, Mrs. Painter has just been telling me the quaintest thing.
It isn't a thing I should discuss in mixed company, especially with Mr. Tate.
Oh, come on now, Mrs. Painter. Don't let's quarrel over over abstractions. See here, we'll have some tea and we'll all feel better. Where is that girl?
Yeah,
Ma'am,
Mom.
that's better. Now, will you bring the tea things quickly?
Yeah, Mom.
Well, good heavens! What is the matter with you? Speak!
I ain't smart, Mom. I ain't smart.
Not smart?
Not smart? Dear creature. Oh, Mattie, you wonderful, simple, primitive creature. Smartness. Pah! Both of you. Don't sit there looking at me so aghast, as if I were uttering heresies. Smart? We're smart. You and I. And look at us. No, no, my dear Mattie. You're not smart, and heaven send you may never come to be smart. You, hiding in your soul something 1,000 times more precious than smartness, an element of wisdom.
Milo!
It isn't that, you fool! It isn't that she means by not smart. Don't you know what it means down here? Why? It means that one is in a delicate,
Delicate? You say delicate? And I say, don't talk to me of delicacy. No, no. Look at me as hard as you want to. There's something more priceless in the world than delicacy. We are immersed in it. Yes, I'll say it. Immersed. All the wild little salt-stifling inhibitions of soap and toothbrush, Chinese potteries. I see that I shock you. Well, I'm willing to shock you. You, Mrs. Painter, and you, my dear Francis. But I tell you that if this girl here, this splendid, deep-bosomed, outside-earth woman is not delicate,
I
then as
didn't
for me,
say not delicate. I said in a delicate
in a delicate what?
condition.
Condition? What are you looking at me for? Stop looking at me. Stop it. I say stop looking at me. Stop.
Milo.
Just stop. Stop. The idea.
Oh, Milo! Milo!
I'm afraid I shall have to say good evening.
Mattie, you may leave the room.
Yeah, Mom.
Francis, 10 minutes ago, I would have called the man a liar who told me that you, my wife, had such a low, suspicious mind. Do you hear me? Good God, Fanny. The world is full of low minds, I suppose. Eternally ready to suspect the worst, licking their licorice lips for a chance at a good man's name. Pah! Of course the girl must be gotten away from here immediately. Fanny! See here! Pull yourself together. There are arrangements to make. This poor creature can't be left here to face the sneers of these damned, narrow-souled provincials. She is, in a sense, a dependent of ours. It seems to me we can't do less than to send her away to some place where she'll be looked after, cared for, understood. In the city. Fanny, will you listen to me? Fanny!
Please, don't touch me.
Stop it. Stop it, I say.
Don't touch me.
But I keep telling you.
Please don't keep telling me anything. I can't comprehend anything now. My brain won't work. I think I'm going crazy.
But I tell you, it wasn't me.
Denials, denials. I think I might have been spared this.
But it wasn't. You know.
If you must make a brood of yourself, you might have been a gazelle, not a jackal.
But if it had been Fanny,
If it had been
you wouldn't mind, would you?
mind, I?
Ah, that's better. That's more like my girl. I knew you wouldn't, even if it had been. That's right. And now let's think. Have we got a timetable in the house with connections? And oh, yes, about that address, the what you may call it, Magdalene's home, we must get it from Mrs. Painter. The girl mustn't stay here for a moment more than is absolutely necessary.
What are you talking about?
That place in the city, Mrs. Painter thinks well of it.
What has that got to do with it?
Why? Why?
Of course, the young woman is to remain with us.
What?
Naturally. Why, Milo, how queer you talk. You and I are not going to miss the fundamental significance of life, are we? We're not deliberately going to shut the door on life, we three. This wonderful thing.
I must say, my dear girl, this is a poor time for facetiousness.
We three, passing together, hand in hand, through the unfolding hours of a miracle.
Francis, you're very unkind. You will never understand me.
Understand you?
Not in the deeper sense. You're a woman, after all. You still cling pathetically to the grammar school notion that 2 and 2 makes 4.
Ah, and that theories are to be put in practice at home.
Theories, my God. Theories, ideals, dreams. If one could but afford to dream. But that is for the angels and the young, happy youth,
All of
unencumbered.
which is to say,
And take it all. My affairs are in delicate condition. It's a confounded precarious period in my career, my dear girl. Another year, who knows, and I may arrive if nothing happens. After all, we owe a little something to my career.
your career.
And to your own folks, to our own folks, yours and mine, and to your good name.
Quite so, my good name. You're beginning to think even of that. Ha!
But I keep telling you, it is that painter woman. What are we gonna do?
Do? What shall we do when everything is so sweet and natural?
Fanny, are you insane?
No, I am precisely sane. Let her in, please.
Fanny, Fanny.
Come in.
Well, here I am. I started to go home and then I just couldn't. When there's anyone in trouble, when there's a chance of anyone needing help, well, that's the way I am, Mrs. Tate. I said to myself, now if there's anything I can do, any arrangements I can help them make to get that wretched girl out of the way before the town is by the ears. Poor Mr. Tate. I said to myself, when all these rough fishermen learn the news, oh my, dear Mrs. Tate, you don't know them. They're ignorant and uncouth, and you wouldn't think they had a spark of sentiment or honor in them. But when anyone gets one of their women folks in trouble, especially an outsider like Mr. Tate, well, I said to myself, weak as I am, if there's to be any harm done, any violence.
Harm? Violence? What do you mean? See here, do you imagine for one instant that any man, fisherman or no fisherman, can come around bulldozing me, a perfectly innocent bystander? Have I no protection under the constitution of this country? I think I have. But I'm forgetting that poor tragic creature. She can't be left here to face the sneering rabble. I'll get a rig. I'll drive her over to the junction, myself. I'll take her up to the city, myself. I'll make arrangements at the Mrs. Painter, where was the place?
Let me think.
For heaven's sake, don't you remember?
Let me think, I tell you. Please don't keep hopping about that way or I'll never remember. Let me think. Was it 93rd Street? 9th Street.
But my dear woman,
I think you're both making rather a spectacle of yourselves. You seem to overlook the fact that all this fuss and flurry is quite unnecessary. Quite.
unnecessary? Good Lord, woman, look at the time.
And this was such a good place, not at all like an institution. They have their amusements and things. If a girl has to
If she has to go away, quite so, I agree with you. But you must remember that this is quite another case. for the girl is not going away. She's remaining here quietly with us.
Francis, I swear I swear if you don't drop this pose and come to your senses.
Hi, of course. Why, my dear, of course. Oh, Mr. Tate, how stupid of me, knowing your principles. I was in the excitement and the danger of the moment. I was just being hopelessly middle class. Why, of course.
All right, all right. Seeing that I can hope for no ordinary human assistance from either of you, I wash my hands of you. Only please keep out of my way. Please, I say keep out of my way. Mattie? Mattie! Where is that girl? Good Lord, she'll have no time to pack her things, and they might be here any minute.
Who might be here?
Please don't speak to me. Mattie! For God's sake, girl, are you deaf? Mattie?
Yeah, Mom?
Not her. Me, Mattie. See here. Hurry. Don't just keep standing there like a chump. Get your things together. Just what you need. Throw them together, girl.
Mom?
You mustn't take any notice of him, Mattie. He's...
Francis, oblige me by keeping quiet. Mattie, now hurry. You are going away. I'm going to take you to the city. We'll drive to the junction, understand? Junction, drive, city. Good God, what a bonehead. Going to the city. Get that? It's a nice place. Not at all like an institution. They have their amusements and things. City, understand?
Mom?
I told you not to pay any attention to him. He's not quite himself. Of course, you're not going to the city at all. You're going to remain right here with us, right here in the house with us, we three, very quietly until
you're you know,
is
one.
Damn it, she can't. I say she can't. Tell them you can't.
No, Mom, I can't. My old man wouldn't like it, Mom. My old man wouldn't
your
like
father wouldn't like it.
No, Mom. No, Mom. That's right. None of them would like it, Mom. None of them would like it.
Do they? Good God. They don't know, do they?
Yep, Mom. They know. I told them today, and my old man.
Not one another word. For heaven's sake, don't stand there wasting time. Go, get a hat on. What the devil did you have to tell them for? They might be here any minute now. The whole pack of them. Hush. My God, what's that? Girl.
I guess maybe that's my old man.
Oh no. Let me see. No one on this side. Yet.
Should I let him in, Mom? Should I let him?
You fool, Mattie. Come, we'll make a run for it the front way. Come along, I say. Come on. Come.
No, Mom. No, Mom. No, Mom.
Leave!
No, Mom.
Leave be with your hands there!
It wasn't me. I swear. I give you my word. It wasn't me.
Oh, it wasn't you. You stand there and tell me it wasn't you. And me seeing you with my very eyes wasn't you, eh? Mattie, come here.
It wasn't me. It wasn't. It wasn't. Honestly, Mr.
No, stow it. I seen you, so stow it before I heave this tub at your head. I don't care who you are. I know what you done. I seen you doing it. And I'm gonna give you a lesson to chaw on. I'll be damned if I ain't.
I didn't. Don't you touch an innocent man. It was someone else who did it. I swear by my honor, someone else did it.
Somebody else done what?
It.
It what?
He means got her in trouble.
In trouble? Her or him? You don't say.
You don't know?
That your daughter was...
My daughter?
But she said you were.
You were her old man.
Old man? Well, of course I'm her old man, and she's my old woman.
Do you mean she's your...
Your
Wife?
Well, for crap's sake now, what did you think?
We we simply didn't think.
We didn't know she was...
Read.
We all want to beg 1,000 pardons, Mr.
10,000 pardons.
Well, I don't know. Don't seem to understand, but I just come up here to tell you that I thought best the woman should quit work now. She ain't smart, you know?
Yes, that's all right. We understand, old chap. Yes, indeed. Goodbye.
Well, look, good day to you all. I'll tell him good day, Mattie girl.
Good day, Mom. Good day.
Milo, I've been such a mean, shallow little Nini. Oh, I can never forgive myself.
I wonder.
Milo, darling, look at me. I'll never doubt you again as long as I live.
I remember now. It was 39 East 90.
And curtain.